player, meaning does this team or player still have it? Are they still a player or just a brand name? Okay, we're going to mention some big name players and coaches in the NFL and figure it out. And let's start with Jon Gruden, Jeff. Player or brand?
I'll start with player. I mean, for whatever reason, right now he's getting his guys to go and play, and I know they've had a rough run, but week one, and you come back from being the deficit that they did, and you know, kind of clawing and scratching your way. Maybe they found their way, and I'm telling you, their defensive line is legit. They can get at it. I thought their offensive line played well against the Ravens for the majority of the game, and they had some slip-ups. But so I'll say he's getting them better.
Yeah, I would say the same thing, Jeff. I think right now he's a player. If you asked me prior to this game, what would he have been? He would have just been a brand. That's why he was hired with the Raiders. But last night, he falls into the player category.
Jay?
I would say players, right? But doesn't it feel like it always fluctuates? I mean, last year, Dan Graziano brought it up when they beat Kansas City, you're like, oh, player. And then they didn't sustain, and you're like, oh, brand. And now I feel like, oh, we're player. Let's see it sustain, Max.
The answer is player for exact reasons everyone's identifying, and this is exactly why last night was so big. Because if he would have lost, brand. But he won. And why is that big? 4-12, 7-9, 8-8. Every year they get a little better, and then they beat a very competitive Ravens team week one when a lot of teams would have folded eventually. They kept fighting
a lot
back.
of players were hurt for the Ravens. Can we keep
no
bringing that up, please? Like they weren't full strength.
No, listen, you don't decide who you play. You just play who's in front of you, and the Raiders are still very good. Player or brand? Jeff Saturday, Aaron Rodgers.
Player, come on, man. I mean, like don't jump off that bandwagon that fast. I mean, he has a tough day at the office. He played bad. I mean, this is the MVP last year. He will get it back on track. Don't sleep on him. I mean, this guy, if you're betting against him, you're betting the wrong bet, bro.
Yeah, I'm just moving along with Jeff. It's certainly a player.
Yeah, that's my fault for asking the question, guys. That's my fault for asking the question. Was I expecting anyone to say, you know what? I saw a game of Aaron Rodgers. He's no good anymore. Okay, but how about this one? Odell Beckham Jr., player or brand, Jeff?
I think he is player, and I think he's about to show the world why. I mean, I know he got held out last week coming back from that ACL. This guy is going to take the Browns offense to another level. I'm telling you, with the play action and what they're going to be able to are capable of doing, blocking it for Baker Mayfield, OBJ is going to be a deciding factor. And I know everybody's kind of written this guy off. He is still a player, and he will show up this season.
See, I think he's still a player, but he is leaning toward that brand side of things because when they went out to get him, he was supposed to be a major difference maker for the Cleveland Browns. Obviously, bad coaching contributed to him not being able to do that. Then he gets hurt. So right now, they're hoping for him to come back healthy and give him what they paid to get. But right now, I'm kind of stuck in between player and brand on OBJ.
Yeah, out of sight, out of mind, right? What have you done for me lately? We haven't seen Odell be at his best. Last time we saw him on the field with Baker Mayfield, right? That chemistry seemed off, but he's still a player, man. You watch the videos of him training, like, damn.
This is what I'm going to say. I'm going to say brand. It's not that I don't think he can still, maybe he's still a player, but now I need to see evidence. I have a lot of confidence he can deliver, but it's been a long time. I thought he should have been the best receiver in football this whole time. But let's talk about another best receiver in football, player or brand. Jeff Saturday, Julio Jones.
Now, I would say brand for him because of, listen, for OBJ, for me, he's out for an injury. You can't put that on him last year, right? There's nothing you can do about that part. The Julio situation for me, it's like consistent nagging injuries that keep showing up that kept him off the field last year. So you got to show me this year that you're still that guy. I think he can be that guy, but I think he is living on the reputation of being one of the most dominant receivers. And look, I picked him to be, one of the undervalued, secret steals this season. I'm hoping he plays it up, but right now he's right on that brand side for me.
Yeah, he's on the brand side for me, too. I think the best Julio Jones years are behind him. Can he still get it done fully healthy? I think so. He has to find his groove within the Tennessee's offense. This is not the same guy 5 years ago from Atlanta. Much like you mentioned, Jeff, a lot of nagging injuries, a lot of different things. And he's in an offense that Arthur Smith ran the last couple years in Tennessee, who's now the head coach of Atlanta. So we saw in the game last week, they did not nearly target him nearly as many times as they should have. So that tells me right now he is a brand guy. Yeah,
I would say he's a brand, but he still will have glimpses that will make you think he's a player. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Blake Griffin. Like, there are times when I see Blake Griffin, I'm like, man, that's Blake Griffin.
Posterizing Giannis.
And then, and then other times you're like, man, that's Blake Griffin. So I think that fluctuation of those moments still make you jump.
This is tough, and maybe we need to rebrand the segment because he's a player in the sense that he's still really good. But I have to say brand, because what we mean by player or brand is, does the brand still mean what it used to mean in reality? It doesn't. The Julio Jones brand meant that's the dude you want out of everybody in the league. It ain't that anymore. It's not that anymore. So I have to say brand. Real quick, lightning round. Player or brand, J.J. Watt. Jeff.
Oh, I'm going to say player. You just saw what happened with Chandler Jones, 5 sacks. Don't sleep. Don't think that J.J. Watt didn't have something to do with that. You still got to block that cat on the inside. What he can do and the challenges he presents for guards and being able to pop over even on top of the center, it will allow other players in that Arizona defensive front to flourish. So I'm going to say player because of what I know he does. From the brand side, he's not going to be the same guy like his brother, but he is still a player. Don't sleep on him on the inside of that Arizona Cardinals defense.
Yeah, see, Jeff, I got to go the other way. I think he is a brand and a reputation player at this point in time in his career, which means a lot. If I took Jeff Saturday and I lined him up at center, everybody would be like, oh, my God, that's Jeff Saturday. But that's not Jeff Saturday in year 5. That's Jeff Saturday in year 18. So that's all I'm saying. Yes, he can get the attention of double teams and things of that nature, but that's more built on reputation until he has a double-digit sack year and hitting running backs in the backfield, pressuring on the quarterback. It all is going to be right now is reputation and brand.
Yeah, I would say brand. Just need him to stay healthy.
Yeah, brand also. He's still good, like Julio.
Still good.
He's still good.
Yeah.
But J.J. Watt used to mean one of the best front 7 dudes who ever played. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.